Hey guys, Patrick, Cory, Baseball Mapper boys, you know what it is. It's time for 5 questions. It's been a couple of weeks, so I've had time to lick my wounds a little bit. The last one didn't go. As soon as it was done, I felt like there was so much more I could say and things I didn't think of because you put me on a spot and I only have 30 seconds and you're a jerk about it. But, this time around, I'm more prepared, even though I have no idea what the hell you're going to ask me. Right?
Yeah. You came up short last time. Let's do better.
I'll try to do better.
Be better.
I'll try to do better, but here's what I will say. I know I expect crazy, ridiculous trolling from you because that's what you do is you piss me off all the time and you know how to rile me up and I'm expecting the long march around the woods to get to the point. So let's see what we've got this time.
I don't recall that, but let's see. Let's see
this
what
installment of 5 questions. Let's get to it.
All right. Number 1, 30 seconds to reply.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, during a shortened, canceled, and otherwise restricted baseball seasons, you saw baseball games in at least 6 states, probably more.
Oh, yeah.
Illinois, Wisconsin, North and South Dakota, Indiana, Georgia are the ones I know of, possibly others.
Kentucky.
Yeah. Where are you looking to see a ball game in 2021?
2021. Where do I want to go first? I want to go to a Sox game. I mean, here's the deal. Like, I love going to all these new places, and I love going to places I haven't been to before, but there is something to be said about watching every single pitch and waiting for every batter to come up, wanting to see what Tim Anderson does, wanting to see if Eloy can smoke a double into the gap. Jose Abreu, he's going to drive in the runs. I don't have to feel that way when we're in Lexington, when we're watching the Liberation League in Indiana. There's not as much at stake. But for me, I'm ready for baseball that I'm waiting for a victory at the final minute, waiting for all 9 innings of importance. That's what I'm looking forward to in 2021.
Yeah, I totally get that. I'm watching Bulls games right now, which is, it's tough ride, but I feel the same way. I went to like 3 or 4 Bulls games last year, and I'm looking at these empty stadiums. I'm like, God, I just want to go to a Bulls.
I just want to be in there, right?
Yeah. So
how could you, if as a baseball fan, how could you not want to be in the stadium and see the games that matter for your favorite team a chance at the World Series? That's what I want. So,
all right.
It's a good question.
Question number 2.
I start.
In 2016, the Northwoods All-Star Game was in Kenosha.
It was.
Along with the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby was not at Simmons Field, though.
No.
It was in Kenosha Harbor and featured the pitcher at the end of the pier pitching in to batters who launched balls into the water.
Yeah.
Right? So there was buoys set up for the wall, the outfield wall.
Yes.
And then there was kayakers and boaters and people diving off boats to get the balls.
You sound like you were there with me.
Right. Yeah, it was really cool.
Also there.
So the question is there a better version of a home run derby than that? That was really cool. It was really unique. They changed the MLB rules and all that. Is there a better version than launching balls into that water like that?
That's a great question. All right, so here's the thing. There's a book called Summer Baseball Nation where actually the author was actually at the same game we were and actually went to the Home Run Derby and was talking about that in that book. So we're going to include a link to that book as well in the description for you guys to check out. It's a great read about summer collegiate baseball around the country. But I don't think it can be outdone. I don't think anything can beat that experience because I think a home run derby is special. I love watching it on TV. Yeah. I love the idea of people being able to catch home run balls. I think that's got to be super cool. Especially like in places like in San Francisco, if you're a Giants fan or you go out to that game, you could be out in the bay in a kayak. It wasn't quite like that, but it was so unique. And it felt that way when we were there in 2016. I felt like we were witnessing something special at the time. I hope you felt that way too.
Yeah, no, totally. The only downside was the angle.
Yeah.
We ended up looking straight into the sunset.
Right. That
You
wasn't ideal. I feel like what were we doing? I think we were getting, you always like desserts. You're always trying to get a goddamn snow cone or something.
All right. So anyway, question 3. I do like my desserts.
Right. Dub bars. Where are the dub bars at?
And so this sort of, maybe I should have made this question too, a segue from the going to the White Sox park.
Yep.
But it's got really great food there. The corned beef sandwich is one of my favorites. Giant corned beef sandwich,
The
like
carving
steak,
station.
right? And last time there, I went for like the whole 3,000 calorie experience. I got some giant noodle bowl. I don't even remember.
Right.
But
You had 2 dinners, by the way.
Exactly.
He does not do it like a normal human does.
It was rain delay? So
he had time. He had time for multiple meals, is what he's saying.
anyway, what's your favorite non-White Sox ballpark food?
Oh. I'm going to give it to you real quick. I don't even want this to count towards 30 seconds. You do such a good job of coming up with questions.
Oh, thank you.
I am so impressed at the way you think about this, man. It's like one of us does a really good job of prepping for this. Anyway. Good question. Great food in Miller Park. I like the sausages and things like that. I always, I like that. But I feel like we have great food before games in Miller Park. We like to tailgate, so I couldn't pick something from there. I just mentioned we were talking earlier before recording about the San Antonio Missions. I'm at a game there. I'm trying to think of the name of that park. Is it Nelson Wolf Park? I'm not sure. But I'm at the game by myself. I'm actually watching games by myself. I'm in there for training during the Air Force, during my Air Force days. And I'm watching San Antonio Missions games. And that's when I started to realize that ballparks are great places to find local fare. You can find local food and local favorites there. They had ears and ears of corn on the cob. They had buckets of butter, all kinds of things to make Southwest good San Antonio style corn. That was probably one of my favorite eating experiences, having some Tex-Mex food at the Missions ballpark. Yeah.
That is really good. I'll throw in my favorite. We went on a baseball trip, our very first official that we do yearly now. It was like 2010-ish. It was
Philly.
Yeah, so I met you in
Maryland,
DC, yeah. But I drove to Cincinnati and we went to I went to 5 ball games on that trip.
Right.
4 MLB, and you were along for 3?
2 MLB, and
you just missed Cincinnati. You went to all the other 4.
Where did we go? I don't know.
Pittsburgh, Philadelphia.
We went to Bowie Bay Sox,
and Baltimore.
Okay.
And then I hit Cincinnati and way out there. Anyway, it was 100 degrees on that trip, and I had some snow cone thing.
Dessert.
Do you remember what the hell that was?
Are you talking about in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Rita's. We had Rita's.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love
so
me some
good.
Rita's Ice. Everybody who knows me, my family especially, when I'm down in the South, you got to hit some Rita's Ice. I know there's some in Chicago, but we don't have anything that close to us locally here. Rita's Ice is delicious. That's so good. That is, and that's right up your alley. Yeah. You sweets machine. Okay.
So, all right, number 4.
Before we get to number 4, quick shout out to Tighthead Brewery in Mundelein, Illinois. Today we're drinking Long Snapper IPA. That's a shout out to Pat Manley, Bears Long Snapper. I don't know. I think he's like a local legend. I think he's a god in this area. Long Snapper IPA. He loves it. We love it. And you've got, I think we have a sweet potato ale, which is also good.
It does not taste like sweet potatoes.
Not at all, but it's delicious. And we're drinking it here.
It's very good.
Tighthead Brewery. It is another local brewery. Always support your local brewers. That's what we do. Shop local, drink local.
All right.
Anyway, question number 4.
Number 4. Last week, I stumbled across... last week, as in last time we were in here recording before I got COVID. Pre-COVID. So, anyway, I stumbled across, when I made the question, it was last week. I stumbled across what I thought was a mistake on our map. 2 pins had the same team.
Yes.
As it turns out, this was not an error.
Nope.
Tecolotes de los dos Laredos. I think I said that right. Is a Mexican league team, minor league, AAA, that splits its home games between Laredo in Texas and Nuevo Laredo in Mexico.
Right on the border.
Right. So we both watched a documentary,
Mm-hmm.
2019 documentary on Showtime,
Right.
named Bad Hombres. What'd you think?
Bad Hombres. That is a great documentary. Here's what I will tell you real quick. Got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That is a documentary worth watching just to see the way people on a border town feel. I think that's important. But I think it's interesting to see almost like the rigors of travel on baseball players. And I imagine maybe it's probably similar for Canadian teams. So one of the things I thought about in that is that maybe this is just the way ball players feel going from place to place. But these guys having to do their games, they do play home games both in Mexico and then cross the border and play in Laredo, Texas. And they have to be, a lot of times they're just taking the bus, they're going across customs, they're having to deal with all of that. And just, you could tell, even though it's less games than a major league season, and it's not major league ball, just the wear and tear on them. By the end of the season, they're wiped out and they're playing to win. It was an exciting Showtime documentary. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really interesting to watch them literally walk across the border to go to their ball games.
Just to play a home ball game. It's crazy.
Yeah, with their gear, walking across the border.
Super unique, though. It's the only team that plays home games in two different cities.
Yeah. Right.
Super cool. Super cool.
Question number 5.
I'm still waiting for the trolling. Where is it?
Well, we'll see.
Damn it.
Rick Renneria finished second in AL Manager of the Year voting in 2020 and was fired.
Yes.
New White Sox manager Tony La Russa came in and set a club record for most DUI by a manager at 2.
I was waiting for one of these questions about Tony La Russa.
After La Russa serves his time in jail, I think he was originally going to have to serve like a day, but I think that guy pled down.
Right. I think he's got community service.
How else is La Russa going to make his mark this year?
Okay, so here's the deal. We're talking about a Hall of Fame manager. Can the guy get a break?
Which he made very clear in the DUI video. All right. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Hey, do you guys know who I am? I'm Hall of Fame manager. You're right. But here's my hot take on the whole thing. All right? Screw you. White Sox win the World Series this year. Yes! That's it. I know what you're trying to do.
That's how he's going to make his mark?
That's how you win a World Series. No one's thinking about misdemeanor driving under the influence for the 3rd or 8th time or whatever it's been. Tony, stop drinking, fix your problems, and win a World Series. That's all I care about.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. 5 questions. Well done.
All right. That's fair. I think we did a little bit better. You son of a bitch. Baseball man.
Club record.
That's as always. We're bringing you closer to baseball, whether you realize it or not, and we'll have more for you next week as well. Take care.